All right, let's get it kicked off on this Magic City Monday. Talk some NBA. So, Paul George, do we have the sound? Do we have sound? Yeah. Paul George on his podcast. You know, a lot of these athletes' podcasts are mostly garbage to me because they're inside jokes. They don't really push back. It's just like they say something, they agree with everybody that's on it for the most part. They very seldom give you any information. But I'm going to give Paul George a little credit, as we'll say, all right? Because he talked about the negotiations and what went on, and they originally offered him a 2-year, $60 million and all that stuff. So let's hear Paul George on his podcast.
I never wanted to leave LA. LA is home. This is where I wanted to finish at. I wanted to work as hard as possible to win one in LA. Like, that was the goal, to be here. As it played out, though, like the first initial deal was, I thought, kind of disrespectful. The first initial deal was like 2 years, 60. So I'm like, nah, I'm not signing that. This was maybe like October-ish. And as we kept going, it was like, you know, they would go up inches. Then I hear wind of like, you know, what they're going to give Kawhi. So I'm like, just give me what Kawhi got. Like, y'all view us the same. Like, you know, we came here together. I'll take what Kawhi got. Like, no problem. I was cool with that.
There's only one problem. Paul George is not Kawhi Leonard. Stop it. Sean, I don't have any problem whatsoever with the Clippers. You're not winning a championship. You don't need both of those guys. You're moving into a new building. You pick Kawhi. Kawhi comes no matter what. Paul George gets hurt too, but Kawhi's been hurt. We get it, right? But that guy comes with 2 NBA titles, 2 Finals MVPs. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Paul George has none of that. He just doesn't. And if I'm the Clippers, I'm not going to just give away money. You know, what's the old? They could finish. They could not win the championship with him, and they cannot win the championship without him. Either way. So,
you know, Rob, as a former athlete, this is always a delicate subject because you want guys to make every penny that they can. It's not like you play 10 years in a professional sport, then you go turn your resume in, and you're this tenured, employee, that has leverage. I mean, you kind of have to start over. I'll say this: 5 years ago, the Clippers brought in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. In those 5 years, they have missed a combined, I want to say, 360 games between the two of them, which is 4 seasons.
Like, is that just outrageous?
Worth of basketball. And it's not as skewed as you think. I think Kawhi's missed like 180 and Paul somewhere under that, 140, 150.
Right. It's not like it's right.
It's ironic that all of a sudden in the last year of their deals, Kawhi, Paul George, Bron, all of them play the most games they've played like in the last 4 years. Like, that would be
You're not
my
shocked
pushback.
by that, yeah.
That would be my pushback. Like, I mean, Paul, you want them to pay you, but look what you just did. Like, you and Kawhi just missed 4 seasons worth of games. I wouldn't have paid either one of them. I would have moved on. I know they're moving into a new arena.
You can't. Like, Sean, that sounds good, but this is a business, okay? Like, you got $1 billion arena opening up. You can't say
I love Kawhi, Rob, but is anybody changing their schedule in 2024?
No, I get
to go
it.
see Kawhi play?
I get it. But you can't. If you go and pull the plug on both of those guys at the same time, you're telling people and corporate sponsorships and whatnot, you're out. And you can't do it. Like you can still prop up Kawhi. Oh, my God, if he wasn't hurt, this guy, won 2 NBA championships and was NBA Finals MVP twice. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a selling point of that.
I get the emotion in what you're saying. But even on the business side, like, why are you throwing more money behind what's already been bad money?
Because you got to pay people. You still in the NBA. It does. If you don't give it to them, you have to give it to somebody else.
OKC had 3 of the best players in the league: Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. They have rebuilt themselves into one of the best young rosters in basketball. It can happen.
Okay, here's the problem. What's going on in Oklahoma City? What's happening in Oklahoma City?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I get what you're saying.
And this is LA.
They're winning games.
No, but
go to Boston. Rob, go to Boston. At one point, Boston was Kevin Garnett, Paul George, Rajon Rondo,
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. Now look, they rebuilt and they're back with all young guys. They just won a championship.
I got that. But I'm just saying, like the OKC comparison to being in LA, trying to get attention and saying you're going to strip it all the way down with a $1 billion arena you're about to open, it's just not going to happen. All I'm saying is I think the Clippers did the right thing. If I got to pick one of the two, I'm going to pick Kawhi regardless. I'm going to pick Kawhi.
Only pushback I would give you, I would be very concerned with the fact that Kawhi has not been available come playoff time. He started the playoffs, but he's gotten hurt.
I get it.
And I mean, if the ideal
take out the injuries, who's the better player between those two? Because
in 2024.
Yep.
I mean, they're probably about the same, to be honest.
No, I want you to pick a guy. Come on, we don't do that on the Odd Couple. Pick a guy.
I mean, I guess you would go with Kawhi.
Okay,
but I mean, it's
answered
not like,
your question.
It's not like it's a significant gap.
But I'm saying,
if there is a gap.
But if you have to pick one of the two, I'm picking Kawhi. I just am. He's more accomplished, and he gives you more. It's not like he got any
What
issues.
does he give? He didn't give you more. He's not available.
Did you watch him at the beginning of the year when he played the first 50 games? He was outstanding.
Yeah, I also watched the playoff series versus the Mavs. He was real nice looking on the bench.
All right, but I'm asking
Listen,
you.
I'm not Broussard. You're not going to bully me.
What?
Okay, there's not a gap between Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in 2024.
Why are you calling me a bully?
Isn't.
You've been on the show for 5 minutes.
We don't do that on the Odd Couple.
We don't
I heard your
do
little
that.
sidebar remark. You're not going to bully me.
I'm going to make
Kawhi Leonard was on the bench next to Tyronn Lue for the entirety of the
I got
Dallas
it,
Mavericks
but I'm asking you
series.
last year when the season started and Kawhi played, what did he play, 50, 60 games? I mean, it was unbelievable, and he was balling out. He was in the conversation for MVP.
There was a time when Kawhi was right there in the conversation as best player on the planet.
He was.
Due to injuries, multiple, he's not in that conversation anymore. It's not a knock on Kawhi.
No, I get that.
The truth is just the truth. It doesn't have emotions. It's just the truth.
But the Paul
You're
George,
trying to sell it like they made this great decision.
No, I'm just saying
it's not a great decision.
Yes, it is when it comes to
signing
Paul.
decision.
When it comes to signing
No, it's
Paul
not.
George.
Sometimes you got to realize if a championship is the goal, if we can't win a championship with this group, we got to start over.
You can't start over with a new building. No, you can't. Sean, that's not realistic. Stop it. That's not an option. You're going to have to keep one of them. Okay? You cannot. This is not Oklahoma City, where if you strip it down, people are coming because they got nothing else going on. How many championships they got?
Oh, are you comparing that to the Clippers?
I'm just asking you about. I'm asking you about
abundance of banners that they have.
I'm asking you about Oklahoma City that had Harden, Durant, and Westbrook.
They went to a finals.
How many championships did they win?
They went to a finals.
Okay. Well,
the modern Clippers, as we know them, have not been to NBA finals.
Were any of them hurt? No, they were all young and healthy, and they didn't win, right?
Which is my point.
Okay, that's
If I'm the Clippers owner, I go back to young again. And let's see if we can evaluate ourselves to having a great collection of young players. So who cares? Well, year one, if we're average and people are in the seats, we want to be competing for a championship in year 2, 3, or 4 in the new building. That's just my humble opinion.
It's a new building. You got to sell tickets. You got to sell sponsorships. That's what it is. It's still as no matter what.
People are going to come.
No, they're not.
Anytime you build
Stop
something
that.
new, Rob, anytime you build something new, people are going to come in year one just to see it.
That don't mean that they're going to be there.
But you're saying that they
that.
make this great decision because that's going to dictate that people come. People are going to come just to see the new building.
No, but you can't strip it down totally. And Paul George isn't the headliner. I don't care if he's from Los Angeles. So is Kawhi Leonard. They're both from the area.
Down. They have no shot to win a championship.
That's fine. And they wouldn't have had one with Paul George either. So what's the difference? All right.